Hey guys, CrYptOG in for another unplanned session of facts and stats. So today I haven't got anything planned, I just was watching the block scan data last night and I could see some activity happening live on the ledger, so I thought I would come on, capture that, get you up to date. Things happen so quickly in this space and it's difficult to spend the time planning and structuring the content for you. So I'm just going to run through the Shavez wallet and show you the activity, and hopefully by just sort of rambling through this stuff you may learn a few tricks as to the best way to understand the data that is available for everyone, including you, to analyze. So better do the housekeeping before I jump in. I'm not a financial advisor and this video should be used for educational and entertainment purposes only. You must seek professional advice before making any investment in either the traditional or the digital space, as there is a risk of partial or total loss. Make sure you do your research. Make sure you try to self-custody your assets at all times. And remember, the information in this video may well be out of date by the time you get to watch this. Okay, so I thought we would start with the Shavez wallet ending EFDF. This was, again, I've covered the verification that we had for this wallet, which was captured on a Zoom call several weeks ago, and that if you want the information on that, you'll have to look into the I can't remember which video it is now, but it would be one of the Busted series, or maybe it was the Roy Lopez, the King's Gambit, or was it the Hyper Cop? I don't know, it all blurs into one at the moment. So anyway, best not get distracted and jump into this. But what I was saying, we do have verification that this wallet is controlled by and owned by Shavez. And for anyone that's not familiar with the layout of Polyscan, we have the owner's wallet address here. We have the Matic balance. We have the token holding selection here. You can expand that to show the various tokens and amounts that are held in the account. And we have a tagging option here, which as you can see we've labelled as Shav Gas supplier. The relevance of that is that the wallets need to be funded with the native token for that network, which will point us to the owner of the wallet. So it points us to who owns the wallet. God, I can say this. So it points, and the gas supplier is usually the owner of the wallet, so we can track back through the transactions to find out who is most likely to be the owner of a particular wallet, and helps us build a picture of the network. Most people have several wallets. Once you've been, especially if you're a developer, you've probably got many wallets. Anyway, we scroll down, we then have a little look at the activity. Let's just refresh the page. And here we've got the total number of transactions, the transaction hash, which will take us to the detailed information of that transaction. We've got the method, which shows a list of request FlashLoan, transfers, executions, whitelist approvals, etc. The block that transaction was committed, obviously the time, the wallet from, and the wallet or smart contract interaction to, and some information on the fees. Now if we look through the transaction hashes, we can see that there have been some requests for flash loans and various other administrative actions and interactions with the bot contracts that we have managed to identify and label using our favorite tool, which is the D.Fi scanner And as you can see, we've got a contract here that has a rather interesting spelling error actually pulled from the contract itself. But we'll just skip over that for now. So there are several bot contracts, 2 or 3 which were deployed by the Shavez wallet. And if we look into DeBank, go to the first ever page, we can see the contract creator here and then the contracts being deployed. And I showed this in one of my recent videos if you want confirmation of that. But if you want, you just click on the Polyscan and it will take you through into the hash. It shows the contract that was created here. If we were to copy that, go to d.fi, paste that in the scanner, hopefully it will be, there we go, Boomerang FundController, which I think was one of the early, I think that might have been the first one, yes, deployed on the 29th of December. That's where we were. But if we come back to the most recent activity, you can see in the last 18 to 20 hours he's been busy doing some bits and pieces, with request FlashLoan here. Lots of failed FlashLoan interactions. Adding someone to a whitelist. I'm going to have a little look and see which. Let's have a little look. So there's a function on the FundController add to whitelist. Might be some details in here. Add to whitelist, address. Okay, so it's likely to be this address. Let's copy that and so this is that address, which is 1 day old. It's had some Matic transferred in. Click the scam. FlashLoan demo bot user, right? Okay, so this is a wallet that we have identified before, which I believe Bab is one of the previous. Let's have a little look. I know what's going to happen. I'm going to get lost with all my tabs up here. I had something kind of planned out. Receive lots of small amounts of Matic. Anyway, that was one of, I think there were 2 or 3 other bot contracts that were deployed at some point in the last 4 to 5 weeks. Anyway, getting distracted again. Let's go back and right, that was the add to whitelist. Let's get rid of that. Okay, that's what we were doing, the add to whitelist. So that was what we just looked at. But not really much else to look at there. I think what was more revealing was the recent activity that we had here, which was on another smart contract called the Boomerang Alpha version dev. There's OX73, or I generally like to use the last 3 or 4 digits, so 9447, but it doesn't really matter one or the other. And if we just look, see which tokens are in there, Sand Synthetics, Wi-Fi. And scroll down, just have a little look at the activity. So let's refresh again. Come on, machine. Ah, yeah. The old crypto's taking a bit of a kicking still. So, right, what have we got here? So we've got the request flash loans being called to the Boomernag alpha version dev, which if we scan out, you can get a better idea of how many failures there are. Let's have a look at all. So there's sort of 10, 15, 20 an hour being put through, but there have been a couple of successful ones. So let's have a look at one of those. And check to see. Up a bit, right? Very sizable, and we've got the bot interacting with OpenOcean, a Sushi Swap Bento Box V1 interacting back with the OpenOcean protocol, and then we've got the exchange, the OX exchange proxy flash wallet, which we looked at in the last video. You can see down here Shav bot. There's a couple of unidentified wallets here. This is probably another exchange contract. Let's just go in and do that, take that one. I'm going to label them whilst I'm here. God, Polyscan so slow. I'm gonna get lost with this. Okay, Uniswap V2. Which one was it? That one. 067. 067. Add that in. Okay, so we've got the Aave flash loan being paid back here, and the line, second to last line, returns or makes a transfer from the Boomerang alpha version to the wallet that initiated this interaction. And the payment is for a very small amount of wrapped matic with a 6 cents gas fee. This X wallet is interesting, but I won't get distracted with that. You can have a little look yourself if you want. And that is OXAD or FCE5. Fill your boots, go and click on some buttons, go and see what is happening, see if you can understand and learn how to make better decisions, hopefully. Right, quick swap. Transaction action. That's interesting. I've not seen that section before. I don't know why. Logs. Lido. There's the bento box. Sushi swap. Well, I definitely need to have a closer look at that at some point. But we were looking at the successful trader DBA, and if we look at their account in DeBank, we can see that there are a number of request flash loans, not many though, 7 in the last 7 hours, and this is showing some very small returns, which would be a bit of a concern, but at least there are some flash loans that are going through. It's interesting how there are some that are consistently failing, and as I say, there are a couple of testers that seem to be more consistently succeeding. I would be interested to know what system they're using and perhaps, where they are located. So we had an idea of what setup. The curse of tepid tea. There's a certain temperature that you need to have your tea at, otherwise it's disappointing. It is actually, I believe, an old medieval curse, actually. Okay, so what are we actually doing again? We were talking about the successful wallets and how it would be nice to know some more details about perhaps why they're being successful and why the others aren't. Perhaps they're using something other than MetaMask. Maybe they're using Trust Wallet or some other tool which may give them a more efficient access. I remember on previous token launches that using a different wallet like Trust Wallet, when MetaMask is put under a huge amount of load. So anyway, that could be something worth thinking about for those Boomerang users that will be desperate to get their money back. I know we've all been there. If you've spent enough time in this space, you will have come across many occasions where you are uncertain about the outcomes of a particular project or token or action that you may have made in a pretty complicated space, which we call DeFi. I think that may be as much. I'm sure there were bits that I was going to point out when I had this great idea that I'd come on and record the current activity, which we can see live on the Polyscan block explorer. Let's look in that's it, token transfers. Again, some very, very small amounts. Open Ocean. But this is allegedly in, or purported to be in, the training phase. There's a lot of confusing information coming out of or from the leaders, the social groups, the Chinese whispers that end up being very misleading for the community members. And I do genuinely feel for you guys, especially if you've you've loaded some zeros in on this. What else have we got? As I said earlier, this you can find more information on the exchange proxy flash wallet in the Shavez bot 1 video that I did only recently, 8 days ago in fact. It looks like this particular contract is going to be significantly involved in the interactions that we'll see, but it still remains to no, that's was the FundController. That's right. Now where did that come from again? That's there we go. The Boomerang Alpha FundController, which I think will, my suspicion is that this will be the fund, like the Boomerang Fund Controller that we had in the previous versions. And we can see the interaction with the Shav Gas wallet ending EFDF. Let's see what else is in here. Add loan providers. Some problems adding to Whitelist as well, which is odd. Doesn't look like there's any batching whitelisting, and I remember hearing something about the whitelisting going to be done or be processed at the app level in the script rather than on the contract, which will make it a lot easier for them to manage without the complexity and the friction that whitelisting individually directly to the contract would cause. So I can see the benefit for that, but the downside of that is that you're again abstracted away from the smart contract. So your wallet address is run through a proxy, so you don't actually have a direct interaction with the contract. So again, you're reliant on that bridging tool, which is provided by Shavez and the ex-Hypertech group, and based on previous history, may not be such a good thing. And hey, the whole focus, the whole idea of crypto really is to allow self-custody and direct peer-to-peer transaction without a third party. As soon as we start to include third, fourth, fifth parties, things often get troublesome. So that should be a concern for you. Let's go to the last Boomerang Fund. Oh no, the Boomerang Fund FAC 20 days ago. The devil's in the detail sometimes. If you really want the truth from this stuff, then you need to be doing your research, and this is exactly that. You need to be clicking on links. You need you need to be clicking on safe links, and you need to know where to find those safe links and which tools that you can safely use, so that you only use safe links. Polyscan is a safe place to do that, so don't have any worries about clicking on any of these links. And if you want a little more detail, sometimes you can extract it down here. Existing, we might be able to find an address, new user. Alright, here we go. There's the batching. Right, okay. Or at least that's my suspicion, that this is what it is. Let's have a little look at one of these. Take the first one. They did say that they were going to make sense to batch these, and don't know why I didn't find that one. Right, so we've got a more mature wallet here. Not very much in it. Get rid of the scammy coins. Some interactivity with Pancake Swap, Binance, Peak. Don't know about that one. Okay, so we've got the 7th of the 4th for the flash loans. So that was last week. Send bonuses. Let's have a little look at that. Right, you'll notice we're on BSC scan now, which is the block explorer for the Binance Smart Chain, which this interaction was on that Binance network. Doesn't seem to be any bonuses. This thing might give me an indication as to this is obviously a different project. Maybe if we take the copy that. Might be getting a little bit distracted at this point, but you know, it's all helpful observation, hopefully. Again, it's really slow, unfortunately. Whilst that's loading, let's have a little look at Peak. Pancake swaps, MetaMask swaps. Yeah, I don't think there's. This is a regular address. Okay, yeah, there's nothing of great interest there, I don't think. So anyway, I think that's probably as much as I need to show you today. These were the other contracts for the bot that I was talking about at the beginning of the video, and hopefully that has helped some of you get up to date regarding the new activity that we've seen recently on the block scanner. Don't forget to subscribe and poke that algorithm. Helps get this content out to those people that really need to spend a bit more time understanding what is going on. And I am planning on doing some trading strategy content to help those of you in Boomerang work out the best trading strategies. So make sure that you don't miss out on getting updates about that. I think you're going to need to wear your game pants for this one. CrYptOG.